I'm Jerry Getka.
Hey guys, I'm Alana Glover.
And we're here for the Top of the Morning show at the top of the World Trade Center in beautiful downtown Baltimore. Pretty high up here, isn't it, Alana?
Yeah, it's an awesome view.
Have you been here before?
Never.
Anyway, we've got some special guests for you today. It's going to be a surprise. We've got the crooner and the comic, tribute artists, Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin. We're going to have a lot of fun. We'll be right back. Hello everybody, I'm Jerry Getka.
And I'm Alana Glover.
And we're here for the Top of the Morning show at the top of the world in beautiful downtown Baltimore's Inner Harbor. Our guests today, why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Hello, I'm Martin Sheen. I look good for being 67, don't I? Yes, very nice. And this is Sherry Lewis, my partner. Remember with the lamb chop puppet? Yes, very good. No, we are.
Actually, she kind of looks like Sherry Lewis, doesn't she?
Yes, you forgot all your puppets, Sherry. And
yeah.
I'll be a puppet.
I remember that.
That's what they say, Jerry. We are the crooner and the comic. This is Eric Richardson, and I'm Matt Maces.
And I'm in love.
Everybody who loves somebody sometimes. Speaking of that song, we are
Please.
a tribute to, in case you haven't figured it by now, we are a tribute to Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, one of the most beloved musical comedy teams of all time, would you say?
I would say so. I sure love them.
I do too. I
Yes,
love
sir.
I love the money we make by paying. Oh, are you buying the furniture, Bobby? Yes, that was very good.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Now we haven't heard your voice so much. Why don't you do a little snippet of a song for us?
Haven't done it.
You want to hear him sing?
Sure.
So how about something everybody loves?
Why not?
Everybody loves somebody sometime. And although my dream was overdue, your love made it well worth waiting for someone just like you.
And he did that without a drink. Do you believe that?
Oh, how do you know what I didn't have
Oh,
before I got here?
Was the song
Now,
over?
Matt, where have you guys been working
you jealous?
recently?
Recently, we've been traveling a lot. We were just at a place called the Carlisle Club in Alexandria, a very beautiful 1930s, 1940s Art Deco style nightclub modeled after the Copacabana, the
And a
Rio
bar.
Bar.
And a big bar.
Yeah, they always got to have a big bar when we're playing.
bar.
But it's a great nightclub, and they bring in all kinds of acts that are nostalgic to a
Okay.
T. Big band to Martin Lewis, the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra. We've just played in New York a couple of times at a couple of different nightclubs up there. We've been in Arkansas and Florida and Ohio and
New York.
Where do you work locally so anybody can see you? If
here
they're interested?
in Baltimore. We play quite frequently at Germano's Trattoria in Little Italy. They have a nice.
Not far from here.
Yes,
Yeah,
we've also performed at Valegia's new place down on Water Street.
Yeah, they've got a really nice jazz lounge in the
Like
basement.
a Rat Pack bar. It's really
Yeah,
it's
themed.
very
It's a
nice,
Rat
very
Pack
nice.
themed bar, and they've got
Is the
pictures.
bar big enough for you?
All I need is my space. That's all I need.
But I need a Facebook.
You need a Facebook?
MySpace, Facebook.
Oh,
You know,
okay. That one went over my head a little
That's
bit. I'm
okay.
sorry.
Oh, they got plenty of room at that bar for me to lay down because you know you're not really drunk unless you can lay on the floor without holding on.
True.
Holding on to what?
Whatever you can find on
That's a straight line for him. He's the comic.
Oh, sorry.
You guys can play together. It's okay. Martin, Dean, and Jerry, the real Jerry.
Now I've known Eric for a number of years, and we've done some shows
We
together.
dated in high school.
Yeah, but we broke up, unfortunately. But Matt, you're fairly new to me, so I don't know a whole lot about you. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this.
Sure. I started working as a professional actor when I was 15. I worked at the Hippodrome doing the Awesome 80s Prom, subsequently joined the off-Broadway cast, and I've toured in some Broadway musicals and worked regional and television and film. And about a year and a half ago, I went to the Celebrity Impersonators Convention. Yes, there is a convention for celebrity impersonators.
Now, it's okay to say impersonators, Eric, because when I said it earlier, you said, no, we're tribute.
Well,
We're
it's all encompassing of everyone between lookalikes, sound-alikes, tribute acts, impersonators. It just depends on the terminology that you want to use.
But impersonators, you should like almost be a dead ringer for somebody
Sure.
to do an impersonation. of
Was there
somebody.
anybody there impersonating me?
No, because there was no one yet. No one doing Jerry
Or me?
yet. Oh well,
You're inimitable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and them on the
Goody.
No, she's Elena. It almost worked.
Got
Well,
it-
you working
got it
tomorrow,
going on.
Jerry,
It
right?
almost worked.
But yeah, that this there's a convention for celebrity tribute artists, impersonators, lookalikes called the Sunburst Convention in Florida, and I actually do a tribute to Michael Jackson as well. I know I look a lot like him, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe if you put the gloves on.
just
Yeah.
one. But you know, I do a Michael Jackson show called the Natural Born Thriller Show, and I've toured around the world with that, playing stadiums, casinos, and things like that. And I said to Eric, I said, you know, you should really maybe try out this Dean Martin thing because you know he's
Oh,
always.
you instigated it. He told me that.
I'm sorry, I have to
No,
apologize
no,
to
no.
the world now. I'm the one that when you're sitting in line at Burger King and you hear somebody go, "When the moon hits your eye like a," that's my fault. I apologize to the world, America. I'm sorry. This is the monster that I created.
He created the
Call
monster.
me Dr.
I
Frankenstein.
can't remember the last time I sat in line at Burger King.
Yeah.
Well, it's a long line sometimes, especially in Holland Town. You know, they got really.
Now, Eric, again, I've known you for a long time, and I know you're a professional actor as well when you're not drinking. How did you start out? Now, you're both local, right? You're both local
Correct,
to
we
the
both live
Baltimore
in
area.
the Baltimore
I'm
area.
basking in the beauty of your co-host.
Me too. Me too.
I'm sorry, how did I start out?
How did you start out?
I started out as a child and
Really?
went to school. Well,
It's a very unique process. I don't know if
in my opinion, people have asked me, they said, when did you start to act? And I said, everybody's an actor. And they said, what do you mean? I said, easiest thing to say is, when you went to school without your homework assignment, that was the first time you acted. 'Cause you know, you're still alive and you graduated.
So it was the second day of school.
No, second day of school. Yeah, second day. Where's your homework? I don't know. Dog ate it.
Actually, I sing as well, and so I come across issues every now and then with getting copyright permission and everything to be able to sing certain songs. Do you guys ever come across that, or?
Well, in the tribute industry, forgive me for not knowing the specific legality behind it, but you know, in the United States, you are free to parody anyone or
Right.
anything, you know, under constitutional law. And so doing a parody or an imitation of Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, and in saying imitation, and that just being the most simplest form of how they describe it, an imitation of Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis is legal in all ways. The only things that we're not allowed to do is to reenact scenes from the films, the Martin and Lewis films or the Dean Martin or Jerry Lewis solo films, simply because the words in the scripts are copywritten by the studios.
Mhm.
And the
In that
music,
order.
right, and the music licensing goes to the venue. The venues that perform must have the BMI ASCAP royalty licensing so that we can perform That's Amore and That Old Black Magic, Rockabye Your Baby, those
Right.
songs that they did in the
Okay.
shows.
So you can do the songs
We can do the
without
songs.
copyright infringement.
Correct.
And some of the skits, the old Jerry Lewis skits.
Well, and truthfully, if it were ever to come across that, you know, Jerry himself has always said that the skits that Dean and Jerry did together were never written. They
Oh.
were never written down.
Pretty much like what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Improvised.
they had, you know, when they were signed by Paramount and Hal Wallace, he hired writers for them to write sketches for them. And Jerry said, "This is garbage. This is not what Dean and I do." He threw it out the window and said, "We're not doing it." And they truthfully never did work with a script. A lot of their original nightclub act, Jerry wrote on the remnants of a pastrami sandwich wrapper, and
Yeah.
with the grease stains on it, and even Jerry has said that he still has that wrapper with the original sketch.
And Dean only had 4 songs. He only had 4 songs in his repertoire. That's all he did.
Oh Marie, I Got the Sun in the Morning,
Yeah.
and a couple other tunes that he
Yeah,
did.
a couple other ones.
But yeah, that was the original act. Was Dean sang?
How do
for-
you know this stuff?
Well, you've
Read.
doing as a tribute artist, you know, that's
read.
something that we touch on. We touch on is that, you know, as an impersonator or lookalike, you know, your job really, you get booked out by agents, things like that, to go look like the person. That's really it. As a tribute artist, you really have to, you know, engulf yourself in the personas that you're recreating.
Oh, and that's why they were cutting your hair that way before we came on.
Yeah, and so to really
And Dean was trimming his nails, so he,
I was drinking.
so
You
to
did both.
I was trying to be nice.
you're very nice,
What's
mister.
wrong with drinking?
Depends on what it is.
I hate people who don't drink. They get up every morning. That's the best they're going to feel all day.
Well, you don't have to worry about me. I have bourbon in my water pick. So.
But if you had scotch, you drank scotch and carrot juice, you might get drunk, but you see good.
That's good. That's like licensed by the Surgeon
Okay.
General. That is a real
That's
thing.
right.
Good point.
But you know, you read a lot about, you know, I've read so many things. Both Jerry Lewis has an autobiography, and you know, other biographies that have been written about he and Dean together.
Yes. His
And which
daughter,
really
his
go,
children.
yeah, which really go into detail about the relationship that they had, and I think to recreate their chemistry is the most important thing, because there are people who do a Martin Lewis sketch, you know, or they do Rat Pack things, and it's great and it's entertaining, but I think to really capture the magic that they had between them, to even create a glimpse of what they shared together is magic for an audience to experience.
And it's also accidental. Finding two people who could work together to do that thing. We were just
Yeah.
fortunate to find each other. And
Yeah,
to be
he
able
was
to do
lost
this.
in the mall, and I had to put
That's
him back
right.
on the bus to the senior center.
Yeah,
and-
I didn't know where I was
good.
going.
That was gonna be my next question.
And he has to take me home. So
So this chemistry that you're talking about, that's why you always move over and sit on his lap during the break?
Well, that's a
Not
certain
that
kind of
We're-
chemistry.
Yeah, we're not picking out furniture together yet.
Okay. All right.
Next week.
Next week, yeah, IKEA's got a sale here.
You told
Now-
somebody about
now-
that?
did
Memorial
Mark-
Day.
It always seemed strange to me because most of the early acts always had you know, there was Gracie Allen, and there was always a female involved. How come Martin and Lewis never did? And have you guys ever worked with a third person?
We've done
Other
shows.
than my show?
We've done shows with Frank Sinatra tributes and
Okay.
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe and
Yes.
things like that. And it's always interesting to do that. We've done it with Eliza Minnelli. We worked with Eliza Minnelli before, and it's always interesting. But I think that the chemistry that Dean and Jerry shared together, and the repertoire is so vast that we don't necessarily need to work with another act, because they're between their solo
You've got
careers. and-
plenty of material.
Yeah, we've got enough
we've got-
material to do 4 shows in one night. So.
Okay, so Eric, I did have a question for you.
Yes.
I was wondering, do you guys do you post any clips or anything on like Facebook or MySpace or?
Oh, we have a lot on Facebook. We have
do.
Facebook pages. You can find us, The Crooner and the Comic, on
Yep,
Facebook.
we have a fan page on Facebook, as well as Twitter. We have a Twitter account. You can follow
Okay.
what the Crooner and the Comic are doing. Not that that's really interesting, but we do have. You can read our tweets, and our website, thecroonerandthecomic.com,
Okay.
is great. It's got where we're playing. It's got video clips. It's got press footage. It's got pictures. It's got our stuff on there. You know.
Ways to contact us in case you want us to come and do your
Is he awake in any of these
Wedding.
pictures?
Well, it's
That would be another good question.
most of the pictures are him doing that.
That's what I thought.
You put a beautiful lady in front of me, what do you expect me to do?
But,
Well, it depends on whether you have a drink or not at the time.
I mean, I sat and looked at you in the last interview and I just went to sleep, but
Sorry
Well,
about
this is
that.
actually, you're talking about your website and some of the others, so we actually have a clip to show our audience,
Sure.
and we're going to show that right now.
Quick, always love a kick. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head. Oh, I'm telling you, that was wonderful.
we are funny,
That
aren't we?
was awesome.
yeah.
That was a rather interesting clip, I have to admit, and you got quite a few things going on.
There was a clip.
There was a clip, Eric,
Yeah.
while you were asleep,
I'm just, never
and
mind.
it's hard to tell because
It's
as you're
okay.
sitting there staring at Alana,
Yeah.
your eyes are closed. I don't see how you can do that.
He's a daydreamer.
A daydreamer?
Yeah, I know. Wishful thinking.
A daydreamer.
Nice.
Anyway.
That would make an interesting new skit for you guys.
We
What
do
is-
the monkeys daydream, believe. Yeah, never
Yes,
mind.
that's
Never
right.
mind. Never, it's already been done.
Do you guys do any original skits?
You know, actually, we do.
Yeah.
Part of the great thing about the Crooner and the Comic, Alana, is that we do Martin Lewis-esque material, and we take Dean Martin songs that he did as a solo artist, and then we'll find some way to bring Jerry Lewis into it, or we'll write sketches that are Straight Man, and the
Yeah.
Monkey, or however you want to call it, Straight Man comic, in that style. And that way, you know, we can kind of differentiate ourselves from just being a Dean Martin impersonator, and a Jerry Lewis impersonator, or tribute,
artist,
whatever you
or
want
whatever.
to
Make you
say.
stand out more.
Because,
Yeah.
because we're actors, we've studied Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis from an actor's point of view.
Right.
So we've developed the characters of
Right.
them. We know what they would do in the situation. We know what they would probably say in the situation.
Right.
So we don't have to do exactly what they say. We can make up our own stuff
Right.
and
so-
sound like them.
Right. It really is in the most simplest of forms. It's an acting job. Eric has played everyone from Brewster Hannigan and Annie
To
to
Fagin and Oliver.
Yeah, and now Dean Martin, and I've played Huck Finn and Bat Boy, and now Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
And so it's really an acting job, and to then be able to write material in their style, it's something that you really do, like we were talking about earlier. You have to be able to really divulge into their way of thinking to do it.
Right, and if there's anybody out there who thinks they can write in the style of Martin and Lewis, give us a call.
Now, for
We'd be
those in
happy
our-
to listen to it.
For those in our audience who don't remember, we shoot here at the top of the World Trade Center, so there's always things going on in the background. Elevators coming up, people walking around at the beautiful observation deck up here. So if you see or hear people walking by, noise in the background, that's what it is. That's my disclaimer for you. Now, Matt,
Yes.
you instigated, or you saw Dean in Eric.
Sure.
Who do you see in Alana?
Well, you could do, certainly you could do you could do, I see like a young, like Reba McEntire with the red hair.
yeah.
You know,
I
that would
asked
be
them.
good.
Get
that
the
would be
red hair
good,
now.
a young, what's that, Fancy, or one of those songs, that'd be cool. But there's in the tribute industry, there's such a wide market for anyone that if you could, dye yourself up, you could do Lucy with your, do your hair up and do Lucy if you do comedy.
I've been told Little Mermaid, but she's
Yeah,
a
you could
cartoon.
do-
Oh, I can
so-
see that.
And that's-
but yeah, that's
and-
my thing. I even got a keychain.
Well, that's the
You got
great thing
flippers?
is that they,
No, working on it.
the tribute and impersonator look like the broad range of characters runs
Yeah.
from Batman and Wonder Woman to Little Mermaid to Lucy and that fold that you could do really anyone.
And these guys are.
Matt Masis and Eric Richardson, the crooner and the comic.
Now we discussed. Well, we didn't really discuss.